Greetings and welcome to Culinary Arts course, Unit 4, Stock, Sauce and Dessert Sauces. So in the previous session, we discussed on different types of stock, what is stock, the method of preparation of stocks and its usage in culinary kitchens. Apart from that, we also discussed on different type of thickening agent. For example, we discussed on what is roux, gelatin, the slurry, that is the cornstarch, and even whitewash, Lysol. So these are the different thickening agents that we discussed in the previous session. In today's session, we'll discuss on one of the most important topic in culinary, that is the sauces, the five mother sauce or the five leading sauce and its derivative and the method of preparation of these sauces and where it is used in the culinary. So this sauce is very important chapter because based on this five sauces, there are many derivatives that is made in the kitchen. One basic example is mayonnaise. For sure, you have tried out mayonnaise with French fries or with nuggets or with poppers. So when this sauce has been accompanied with these main course or with these dishes, it is one of the most derivative sauce where it comes under category of the cold sauce. Like such, there are five mother sauces and we will discuss on what are these five mother sauces. So in today's session, you'll be understanding about the history of the French sauce, the derivatives of the French sauce and the five mother sauces. The first one is what is the sauce? Now, if you all remember in the first chapter that we discussed on what is stock, so I was always mentioning that with this stock is what you can make the soup or what you can make as the sauces. So by using the stock, that is a flavorful liquid, you get to make a sauces with additional of many other ingredients. So hence it is more flavorful. So sauce is basically a thick version of a liquid which is more flavorful, which adds taste, which adds flavor to the dishes and also which is used as a plating or garnishing of a food, and it is also used as an accompaniment for certain steaks and certain main course is what you call it as a sauces. Now this sauce is basically, it can be added for making the gravies, stews, or even in the soup, the sauces can be used. Now this sauce is one of the most essential element in kitchen in any cuisines all over the world, and this sauce either it can be purchased from the market, from the store, or there are certain sauces which it is not available in the market which has to be done by a chef in the kitchen. So the sauces that is available in the market is called as a proprietary sauce or a commercial sauce. And the sauce that is made inside the kitchen is called in-house sauce, or it comes with the leading of the five mother sauces. Now, little bit of history. The person who makes the sauce is called as a saucier. So there is a particular person in the kitchen who's only makes where his job descriptive is only about making the sauces, keeping a sauces ready for certain preparations and making in a bulk quantity. The chef name is called as a saucier. So the person who makes the sauce is called as a saucier. In 19th century, there was a very well-known chef who was called the father of pastry, who actually made a very great invention and the contribution to the culinary cuisines. That is Chef Mary Antoine Carême. So in the 19th century, he came up with many sauces like the five leading or the mother sauces, which is used even today in many of the culinary purposes. And with this sauce, you can make n number of derivative sauce which is being produced. So there are five mother sauces, which includes first one will be your hollandaise sauce, bechamel sauce, velouté sauce. You have brown sauce, that is Espagnole, tomato sauce, and then you have one cold sauce that is nothing but your mayonnaise sauce. So these are the six basic mother sauces, and based on this, there are many other derivatives of these sauces that has been made. Now, when we look into the classifications of the sauce is being classified into basic mother sauces, derivative sauces, that is with the mother sauce you can make a lot of many alterations, that is called the derivative sauces. Then you have the proprietary sauces, it's nothing but the commercial sauce that you get in the store. And then non-derivative sauces, there are certain sauces which cannot be derivative, so they just remains one single sauce as it is, that is comes under the non-derivative sauces. Now in the mother basic sauces or the basic sauces, you have hot sauce and you have cold sauce and then you have the warm sauce. So this mother basic sauces, you have the hot sauce and then you have the emulsified sauce. In the hot sauce, why do we call it as hot sauce? Because it has to be prepared with the help of the heat. So these includes bechamel sauce, you have velouté sauce, you have hollandaise sauce, you have you have Espanol sauce, and then you have the tomato sauce. In the emulsification method, what is emulsification? Where you emulsify the liquid with the oil content. Like for example, you emulsify water with the oil, and that is what is called as emulsification. Here, you emulsify with egg yolk or egg white with the oil, where it turns into a creamy substances. This is called as emulsification. Now, in this emulsified sauce, you have one is a cold sauce that it doesn't require any kind of a heat in it. That is called mayonnaise sauce. Second one is the warm sauce where it requires a double boiling, that is on top of a hot water is where you make this sauce, that is nothing but it's called hollandaise sauce. So these are the mother sauces. Next one in proprietary sauces, that is the sauce that we get it outside which has been purchased, is like a tomato ketchup. Then we have is a soya sauce, then we have Worcestershire sauce, fish sauce, or many other oyster sauce. So they comes under the proprietary sauces. Now this first one, we will go with the derivatives of the sauces. First one is the basic mother sauces, comes in the category of the hot sauce. The first one is the bechamel sauce. Now what is this bechamel sauce? Bechamel sauce is also called as the white sauce. Now if you have tried eating a pasta with white sauce, then it is nothing but the bechamel sauce here. Now, the other name is also called bechamel. Now, this bechamel sauce or white sauce is where the sauce is, it's a very rich, it's very creamy in texture, where the basic thickening agent of this sauce is basically a roux. I've explained you in the previous class. Roux is nothing but a mixture of flour and butter, which is cooked together either in three stages, that is white, blonde, and brown. Okay, so the bechamel sauce is where you make a white color roux and then you add a liquid. Now here the liquid that has been added is nothing but a milk. That is what turns the bechamel sauce into white in color. The ratio always goes as 1 is to 1 is to 10, which means 1 part of butter, 1 part of flour, and 10 times, that is 10 part of the milk is what is required to make the bechamel sauce. Now this bechamel sauce is widely used in making of your pastas, making of certain sauces. It's also used as a dipping agent for many other preparations. Now this is the bechamel sauce. Next one we have is the Espanol sauce. Espanol sauce is basically called as the brown sauce. Now, where is this brown sauce used? When we're making a steak, when we want to coat the steak with a brown sauce, or when we're making certain gravies or certain stews, we add these brown sauce. So this brown stock is where sauce is very simple. We make a brown stock in it. So brown stock is basically made by using bones and tomato purees and other vegetables. So you use brown stock, then again you use a roux here. So the roux that is used here is again flour and butter, which is cooked until it turns into brown in color, but it should not be burnt. And then you add the brown stock to it, which forms the brown sauces. Now this brown sauces is basically reduced into a reduction method, and then it is widely used in many preparations as well. Next one we have is the velouté sauce. It's pronounced as velouté. Now what is this velouté sauce? It is very simpler, but here the roux that is being made is basically a blonde roux. That's the reason the color of the stock is neither too white nor too brown. It is somewhere in between that, and that's why it's called as a blonde sauce. Now this blonde sauce or velouté sauce That is, you take one part of flour, one part of butter, you make a roux. The roux has to be blonde in color. The liquid that is added to make this roux is basically, to the roux is basically, you add sauce. Now, this tomato sauce is one of the most important sauces of your mother sauces, where the name itself explains that here the tomato puree is used along with certain herbs and flavors, and then it has been cooked for a longer period of time until the acidity or the bitterness has been taken out, it's been removed, and then it is used as a base for many other preparations. One basic example is when we're having a pasta with red sauce, is what we call. Here, the tomato is used as a base. Now, this is what is called as the tomato sauce. Now, this tomato sauce, either it basically made with fresh tomatoes, and it is also used in the pizza dough also. When you're baking a pizza, before adding a cheese, the tomato sauce is widely used. It is widely used in European countries as well. Next one is the demi-glaze sauce. Now, what is this demi-glaze sauce? Now, this demi-glaze sauce is basically a most highly flavored sauces. It is glossy in appearances, and this demi-glaze is nothing but demi means half, glaze means glossy in appearance. So demi-glaze, which basically says that it is more glossy in appearance and it has been reduced into half of its quantity. So when it has been reduced, that is when the reduction is made, is what you get the maximum flavor from this sauce. Now, this sauce is basically used in a lot of steak, especially if you're using a beef steak or pork steak. It is basically added on top in order to give a lot of flavor to the meat. Next one is the cold sauce. So in this cold sauce, you have is the mayonnaise sauce. Now this mayonnaise sauce is a simple mayonnaise sauce where it has been derived with a emulsification. As mentioned earlier, to make this mayonnaise sauce, egg and olive oil is one of the most important factor, because when you're adding egg and olive oil is what it creates an emulsification, and then you get the mayonnaise sauce. Based on this, you can add the flavors during the emulsification to get a flavored mayonnaise sauce. Next one is the hollandaise sauce. Hollandaise sauce basically comes with the warm sauce preparations, where hollandaise sauce is again a most rich sauce which is basically accompanied with a lot of bread and egg preparations. Like it is basically used for the egg preparations. Now this hollandaise sauce is basically made with using a egg yolk and butter. So here the egg yolk and butter is nicely emulsified together until it gets thickened with the help of a boiling water on the bottom, where the egg gets more thickened with along with the butter, and the sauce is being derived. So this is what is called as the hollandaise sauce. So this hollandaise sauce, it has a small history. That is, while France made butter of its own. So what happened during the World War I, that is in Holland, it is derived from Holland. During this time, the sauce formerly known as sauce, it is basically from Holland, where it's called Iceni sauce, and it is also very famous. And when these people came towards France, and when they knew that France, they make their own butter, when the production of the butter was resumed in the France, it actually got a name from Holland, so which means as the hollandaise sauce. Making the hollandaise sauce, you require certain skills and practice. You will not get it at one shot, because at one shot sometimes who are very new making the sauce, it gets curdled. Hence practice is what makes to get a perfect creamy hollandaise sauce. This hollandaise sauce is basically used for making egg benedict, where it is basically an English muffin. You have a poached egg, and on top of this is where you use this hollandaise sauce as a topping on top. Now, next one is the hot butter sauces. So this comes under the classification of hot butter sauces. So you have the mother sauce, emulsified sauce, hot butter sauce, and cold butter sauce. Hot butter sauce is, again, its butter is called beurre and blanc, that is white butter sauce. The derivation under hot butter sauce, the first one is the white butter sauce. In French, it's called beurre means butter and blanc means white. Hot butter sauce is based on the vinegar, and vinegar is reduced with fish stock and then shallots. Then cold butter is cut into it and added to the mixture and whipped it until it is very smooth in form. So the warm liquid and cold butter is what creates a emulsification. So this is the hot butter sauce. Cold butter sauce, one example of cold butter sauce is Beurre Blanc or French butter sauce. It is basically made with butter, shallots, vinegar, and also white wine and lemon is added to it, lemon juice especially. It is basically again mixed together until it forms a very smooth texture, and it is basically added, it is added with chicken or fish, and then it has been cooked along with it, and where you get this is cold butter sauce. Next one is the proprietary sauces, that is the commercial sauce which you can get it from the market. The first one very common, that is a tomato ketchup. Do not get confused between tomato mother sauce and the tomato ketchup. Tomato ketchup is a sauce, but it is used as a condiment, and although the original recipe it actually uses mushrooms, sometimes egg whites, sometimes grapes, mussels, walnuts, even pumpkins, and many other ingredients are used for making this tomato ketchup. And that is what it gives kind of a tangy and sour flavors in it. Soya sauce is again a commercial sauce, but soya sauce is widely used in Asian countries like Thai, Japanese, Chinese, and Vietnamese cuisine. And soya sauce is again, it is obtained from the using a soya bean which has been fermented, and then the sauce is being obtained from that. Worcestershire sauce or Worcester sauce is basically a fermented liquid, which is it's a most fermented liquid, which is again used as a condiment rather than a sauce. And this Worcestershire sauce during the in England during the first half of the 19th century, it was being created in a city of Worcester, and then the creator of this chemist was basically Mr. John Lee, where you can also see it's called LP sauce. Okay, it's also called as LP sauce because it's two people who created this. That is John Lee and William Henry, were parents who actually created this sauce, and again you call it as Lee and parent sauce, or it is also called as LP sauce. So do not get confused. This Worcestershire sauce also has a different names. It's also called LP condiments, okay, or it's also called LP sauce, or it's also called Lee and parent sauce. So these are the proprietary sauces that we have. Now, in the next session, let's try and understand the derivatives of these sauces. Thank you.